Hey gang, welcome back to Dragon Ball Daily Draw and Review, the show where I, a lifelong Dragon Ball fan, attempt to read, watch, and review every chapter, episode, and movie in the Dragon Ball franchise in the order it was originally released in Japan. I'm Philip, and today we're discussing Dragon Ball Manga Chapter 2, titled No Balls, which, according to the website Kanzenshu, was originally published in Weekly Shonen Jump magazine on November 27th, 1984, written and drawn by series creator Akira Toriyama. On the title page or cover to this, the second chapter of Toriyama's brand new manga series, he shows Bulma and Goku flying through the sky, her in a jet, him on some sort of magical flying cloud. Seriously, Toriyama has Goku riding on Kinto-un, or the Flying Nimbus here, a full 2 chapters before it would debut in the story proper. Anyway, so Goku and Bulma are on this cover, the copy for which reads, according to the Viz official translation, as "The monkey and the princess, but still boy and girl, aloft in the ultralight of love, or are they?" Running the original Japanese text through Google Translate, it comes out as the similar, "Bulma and Son Goku are also a man and a woman. A flight of love, shall we say?" I have access to the original Japanese text thanks to the Legends edition of the manga collection, which purports itself to reprint the series at the exact size and exactly the same way as it originally appeared in each week in Shonen Jump. As such, it includes all the original hype and copy text for the series. I bought these a while back, and I'm thrilled to be able to actually put them to good use now. I point all this out to emphasize the fact that here we are, only a week in, on Akira Toriyama's brand new martial arts parody and action-adventure series, and Toriyama, who must have the biggest balls on earth, decides to show us no action, no adventure, and no martial arts in this chapter. Instead, he takes time out in the second chapter to give us the story of Goku and Bulma basically just playing house. There's no action here. It's all character work. But isn't that kind of brilliant? This gives Toriyama the opportunity to not just play with the reader's expectations of the series, it lets them cement who these characters are, to themselves, to each other, and to us, the audience. Picking up at sunset of, presumably, the same day the pair first met, which, according to the official Dragon Ball timeline found in the Daizenshu, or Dragon Ball Encyclopedia, occurred on September 1st, age 749. That's right, Dragon Ball has its own in-universe timeline, which will be tracking alongside the real-world publication and release dates. Goku and Bulma decide to call it a night, and rather than sleep on leaves, as Goku suggests, Bulma pulls out another capsule, introduced in the previous chapter. These are little keychain-sized devices which, when clicked, can transform into useful items. Basically, they're Pokeballs, but instead of monsters, they contain motorcycles and cars, and as we find out here, whole camper houses. What follows is essentially the reverse of what we saw in the previous chapter. There, Bulma found herself in Goku's world, full of monsters and magic. Here, Goku finds himself in hers, a well-lit, air-conditioned home with a full bath. That their designated environments are cartoonish examples of where you'd stereotypically expect to find a boy and a girl, i.e. playing outside in the dirt and in a bubble bath respectively, taps into some archetypal shit right there. I wonder if even Toriyama was aware of it at the time. I have to assume he was. I mean, why else devote an entire chapter to a sleepover between your two main characters, especially this early in the series, unless your goal was to set up these two long-running characters and make them feel real and three-dimensional. That's why I think this chapter and these characters work so well. Because it's not just boy meets girl, and it's not just Tarzan meets Jane. It's like Tarzan meets Sailor Moon. It's the boyiest boy meeting the girliest girl. But not, it's important to note, the girliest girl in the way a girl might see herself, but in the way a boy might see one, particularly his older sister or babysitter. Let's remember, this ran in Weekly Shonen Jump magazine. Shonen literally means young boy. As interesting as Bulma is, even in her own house, she's still just a character in Goku's world. For now, anyway. He comments, critiques, makes fun of all of her stuff and routines, even her body, the way you'd expect a kid brother would. And then, whenever she tries to get one over on him, narratively, it can't be done. She tries to bring him inside, he stinks to high heaven. She tries to give him a bath and remove his fake monkey tail, only to find out it's real and attached. When she says that's not normal, he blows her mind for a second by saying, all men have tails, making her realize she has never actually seen a naked boy before, so he could be right. Even when he himself figures out that, wait, my granddad didn't have a tail, She screams, "I told you so." He shrugs it off with a, "Meh, who cares?" She just cannot get ahead of this guy. Bulma is Daffy Duck, Son Goku is Bugs Bunny. Eventually, her one last recourse to authority is to assume that at 16 years of age, she's at least way older than this little kid. Goku then flips even that on its head by explaining that even though he looks like a toddler, he's actually 14 years old, almost the same age as Bulma, and she just gave him a sponge bath. After all that, the pair talk into the night, sharing their backstories. Goku was abandoned as a baby and adopted by Grandpa Gohan, and Bulma is using her summer vacation from school to hunt for the Dragon Balls. It may have seemed counterintuitive at first to take a break and just sit with these characters so soon into the series, but it's a risk that's already paying off. These two feel three-dimensional, as does their relationship. The title of the chapter, No Balls, comes from the final scene. An infamous and, let's face it, somewhat problematic scene where, following this boy meets girl metaphor all the way to its conclusion, Goku peeks between the sleeping Bulma's legs to find out what's going on down there, waking her up by screaming, "Your balls are gone, you have no balls." Bulma jumps up thinking that means someone must have snuck in during the night and stolen their Dragon Balls. When she realizes the Dragon Balls are safe and sound, she starts giving Goku grief for waking her up so early. Meanwhile, a mysterious figure approaches their campsite, promising the reader that, yes, something may actually happen next chapter to move this plot along. But more on that next time. Thanks so much for listening along, gang. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to like and subscribe to keep up. The plan is to post a new video every weekday. It's going to take us around 65 chapters or so before the anime would debut in Japan. And then after that, we'll be alternating between them, exploring how each one influences the other in real time. Eventually tossing the movies in there, corresponding to when those were released in relation to the other two. So stick around. And if you really, really like the show, you can buy me a coffee, which last time I referred to as Senzu Beans. Get it? Because they're beans, and they restore you back to full health. Like Senzu Beans? Anyway. A big debt of thanks to the aforementioned Kanzenshu fan website, where the publication dates came from. Also, to fellow YouTuber Mr. Fusion and their Dragon Ball dissection videos. I hope I didn't inadvertently steal any of their jokes this time, or last time, or next time for that matter. And lastly, to the Star Wars Minute podcast, whose daily format I am shamelessly co-opting. Thanks again for watching, guys. See you back here tomorrow for Manga Chapter 2 on Dragon Ball Daily Draw and Review.